with the memories still fresh. The past storm have worked havoc across the country, including the devastation Xavier in 2017. Journalists are talking in the theory to Gustav Servers and bracing themselves for the what could long a chance will affect it, erased with a trail of shattered windows and dainty to hackers in its wake. Local authorities have been working tirelessly to provide aid to support those affected by the scare and the disaster and scattered rescue team. Emergency shelters have been staffed to offer refuge to displaced families, while search and rescue teams navigate treacherous conditions to locate those with miles stranded or trapped. Italy's historic agriculture and a cultural hierarchy have also fallen victims in a dual onslaught. The impact of the city infrastructure have been severe, with the reports collapsed bridges and damaged roads hindering rescue efforts. The metro network, a lifeline for many communities, came to gripping half of the tunnels become submerged, grave compounding the chaos. In a shocking turn of events, Barcelona, Spain, finds itself grappling with a catastrophic flood, leaving the city and its residents in the state of turmoil. Torrential rain unprecedented in their intensify unleashed havoc in the region, overwhelming graving system and triggering widespread inundation. As streets transforming in the region, emergency service swiftly mobilized to aid those affected by the calamity. Brave first responders launching rescue missions wading through the waist-deep water to reach stranded individuals and families trapped in their homes. Helicopters swayed above, plucking people to rooftops, and floodwaters continued to rise. As the day progressed, images in submerged cars uprooted trees and debris strewn streets circulated on social media, painted a grim picture of widespread destruction. Residents clad in the rain, sacked clothing, and were seen banding together to other assistants displayed admirable resilience in the face of adversity. The floodwaters have also taken to toll Barcelona circulate culture heritage and icon landmarks, including a former Sagrada Familia and historic buildings have witnessed water separated structure damage. Germany finds itself in the grip of South Gustav, the tempest unprecedented magnitude that swept across the nation, leaving destruction in the chaos in the wake. From the northern coastal regions to the picturesque landscape of the South Gustav relentless to the test of resolve and resilience of the German people. In the Hamburg, Europe's second large port city, in the storm unleashed in the water of resilience force. High winds whipped through the streets, caused havoc and disruption, when torrential rain transformed roads into rivers. The city's flood descended put up the test and authority worked tirelessly to protect vulnerability erased from the inundation. As Gustav swept inland, Berlin burst in the brunt and the fury of iconic landmarks such as the Brandenburg Gate to Berlin Wall, standing the silent witness of nature's awesome power. Streets are deserted as the residents seek shelter from the storm, while emergency services come ready to respond to calls to assistance. In the rural Bavaria, communities rallied together in the face of adversity, offering support to solidarity to those in need, and the farmers work tirelessly to secure livestock to protect crops and some stock, while villagers come together to clear debris to ensure the safety of their homes. Transportation networks, great and half of Gustav Fury disrupted rail and road travel across the country. Flights are grounded, trained, and deployed to have become impossible to follow. Trees and debris block vital roads. Yet amidst the chaos, emergency working tirelessly to keep essential service running to ensure the safety of the public. As Gustav finally begins to reset, Germany emergency battery to unburden limited determination to rebuild and recover. Communities come together to assess the damage, offering support to assistance to those in need. The spirit of resilience burst bright across the nation, reminding the work of Germany's strength and determination in the face of adversity. The storm, characterized by intense wind and heavy rainfall, left a trail of destruction throughout the region. The storm approached meteorologists, warning of the potential impact, urged residents to take necessary precautions. The Bavarian government activated emergency service, preparing the worst-case scenario. Schools were closed and public transport was significantly disrupted as a safety issue. The storm's arrival was met against winds that approached trees, damaged buildings, and disrupted power lines. In the several towns, roofs were torn off houses, and streets were littered and debris. The fierce winds, reaching speeds of over 100 km/h, passed severe throughout the resident safety. Heavy rainfall accompanied the winds, leaving a flash floods in low-lying areas. Rivers and streams overflowed, inundated streets and homes. Emergency services working tirelessly to rescue people trapped in their homes to provide temporary shelters for those displaced by the flooding. The agriculture sector suffered significant losses, with many farms reported damaged crops and infrastructure. The storm also impacted wildfire, where the reports earned habitats behind destroying animals being displaced. Throughout the ordeal, and the resilience of Bavarian people was evident. Communities came together to support each other and volunteers helping to clean up efforts and provided aid to those in need. The government pledged financial assistance to those affected by the promise to review its disaster management plans to better prepare for future storms. As Bavaria begins to recover, the storm serves as a reminder of increasing frequency and intensity of extreme weather events likely linked to climate change. Experts call for more robust measures to mitigate the impact of such events and for greater investment in sustainable practices to protect the environment. The ammonia sound a hailstorm planted over rooftops and cars. The Italian government, in collaboration with the local agencies, is deployed to rescue to mobilize aid to assist those facing the deep consequences to this natural disaster. The national unity is solidarity pledging support to help the affected communities recovery and rebuilding the aftermath of this devastating flooding in the hailstorm. Italy finds itself grappling with the devastation aftermath of dual national disaster as torrential flood and forest hailstorm wreaked havoc across several regions. Picturesque landscape have transformed into a scene of chaos and destruction as homes submerged and farmlands plummeted by ice. It one can only describe the cruel twist and the fate. Communities from the northern Alps to the southern Mediterranean coastline have broken the burst of this catastrophic event. Rivers flowing by relentless downpour burst their banks in inundated towns and villages in their paths. Streets that once bursted with life now resemble turbulent rivers forced residents to flee high ground. Adding their misery, the relentless hailstorm stuck with the unfluid force, turning streets into ice river and blanket fields in the chilly twilight of ice. Transportation networks are likely to be severely impacted, with the disruption expected across and the travel. Airlines have already begun preemptive cancellation and delays with the train service operation are reduced schedules in anticipation of adverse weather conditions. Drivers are being urged to exercise extreme caution, particularly on the highway and routes where crosswind is especially dangerous. Emergency services are on standby by response to incidents that may arise as a result of the storm, with extra personnel deployed to high-risk areas to ensure the swift coordinated response. Local authorities have set up emergency shelters to those displaced by the storm are working closely to community organizations to provide support to vulnerable population and challenging night ahead. The townspeople know for their the importance to staying informed to healing offshore warning cannot be understated. The storm's unpredictable nature makes it essential for residents to remain vigilant to take necessary precautions. Turns and the aftermath of the extent of the damage left in the wake. Across the Europe, images uploaded to tourist damaged buildings and flooded streets painting a vivid picture of storm's impact. Emergency services are working tirelessly to assess the damage and provide assistance to those in need. In Ireland, where coastal communities and the boats of the storm's route, residents' emergency severe wreckage left behind. Finished boats lined in battery in one shoot, where coastal defense and tested on their limit. The resilience of these communities is evident. Local come together to begin to outdoor tasks of cleaning up and rebuilding. In the United Kingdom, while transportation network ground and a half during the handle of the storm, efforts underway to restore service and reopen King Road. Volunteers are clearing from the rail tracks, airport resume operation, and highway are gradually reopening to traffic. The resilience of the British people shine through as they adapt to the challenges posed by the storm and work toward normality. In France, where flooding wreaked havoc in low-lying area, residents are grappling with the aftermath of the inundated homes and submerged streets. The cleanup efforts are underway as emergency service deployed prompts and dry floodwaters and residents pitched in village below. Despite the disruption, spirit of solidarity provides the communities come together to support one another in the wake of disaster. In Munich, the storm caused chaos on the street and motorists struggled to navigate throughout the hail-covered roads. Emergency services were called to several incidents, including a car incident on the AA motorway. Local authorities have urged residents to avoid unnecessary travel and to stay indoors where possible. As the fire in hailstorm has battered parts of Germany, caused widespread damage and disruption. The storm was stuck on Saturday afternoon, dumping the large hailstorm. The city included Munich and Stuttgart. Living cars dented, the windows smashed. Some areas reported hailstorm as large as a tennis ball. The storm also caused damage to buildings, with the reports of roof being ripped off and a window shattered. In the town of Schwedrich Hall, firefighters were called to rescue a man who had become trapped in their car and fallen debris. Meteorologists have warned that the most storm could be one of the way. There is a high travel lighting in some parts of the country. The German Weather Service has issued warning for several regions, including Bavaria and Baden-Württemberg, and advised people to take precautions. In the heart of Europe, Hamburg, Germany's second largest city is facing an unprecedented environmental crisis. The city, known for its rich history and vibrant culture, has recently been in the forefront of the catastrophic flood, highlighting the severe impact of the climate change. In the early hour of the morning, the residents of Hamburg woke up to a city submerged underwater. The Elbe River, which has been a lifeline of the city of centuries, transformed into a source of devastation as it burst their banks. This sudden flood has not only disrupted the daily life of the citizens, but also raised serious questions about the city preparedness for such natural disaster. Emergency services have been working tirelessly to rescue those trapped in their homes and provide relief to affected areas. Temporary shelters have been set up across the city to accommodate those displaced by the floods. However, the task is monumental, but the city resources are scattered thin. The impact of economy is clearly devastating. Hamburg, a major port city, has seen maritime activities for height affected by not only the local economy, but also having ripple effect across Europe. The flood in Hamburg can start reminding of a real times of climate change. Experts have warned that such extreme weather events are likely to become more frequent and intense due to global warming. This disaster has put a spotlight on the need for cities to adapt and build resilience against such climate-related challenges. While Turkey is no stranger to extreme weather events, it's currently still severe stark reminder of vulnerability of coastal region and the importance of robust disaster preparedness. As the nation grapples with the immediate challenges posed by the storm, discussion about the long-term resilience and adaptation strategies are likely to gain promises to aftermath in the natural disaster. The storm's impact on the Turkey infrastructure is becoming increasingly evident, with the reports of power outage falling recent localities, including emergency services are working tirelessly to address this issue, but the sheer scale of the storm is testing the limits to their capabilities. In addition, the immediate drainage system to storm concerns about the aftermath are growing. Landslides, a killer region, and potential disruption are critical services such as healthcare and communication network are significant worries of also. The Turkish government has called to inflict to force urgent citizens to assess their neighbors and follow safety guidelines. The economic implications this storm are also on the cast of applications. The disruption to the transportation or commerce could have a lasting impact on businesses, particularly those in tourist and agriculture sector. The timing the storm conditions in tourist season in the coastal areas adding the extra layer of complexity to the challenges posed by the local economy. As the storm approached, Turkish across the country are getting the warning, taking necessary precautions, are hoping for the best day they face the challenges presented by nature unpredictable phases. The coming days will undoubtedly test the resilience and preparedness of the Turkish people and to navigate the impact of this powerful storm. In a dramatic turn of events, Turkey finding itself in the grip of a formidable storm as nature unleashed its full force across the nation. The storm, which will begin intensify over the past few days, has prompted our authority to issue warning and take precautionary issue to ensure the safety of citizens and property. The Turkish Meteorological Service has classified it the storm as severe weather event with the strong winds, heavy rainfall, and potential flooding expected in the region. Coastal areas are particularly vulnerable, with the storm surge posing a significant threat in low-lying areas. Cities along the Arabian and Mediterranean coast, including Istanbul, Izmir, and Antalya, are on high alert as the storm trajectory suggests with the swept across this densely populated area. Residents have been advised to secure lost objects, reinforce windows and doors, and possible evacuate to safe locations. Germany fired itself in those nature fury as Storm Gustav swoops relentlessly across the country, leaving a trail of destruction in its way. With the wind's howling speeds reached up to 100 km per hour and the rainfall intensified, authorities have issued widespread warning urging citizens to take immediate precaution. The northern region of Germany, both of Gustav initial Oslo and the coastal areas, experienced fire winds and pounding waves. Hamburg, a city accustomed by maritime weather, faced inundation from the storm surge, prompting authorities to close food barriers and deployed emergency response team to blossom deafness. As Gustav burst eastward, it impacted it across the major urban centers such as Berlin and Munich. The iconic landmarks of the capital city tremble onto to Oslo and related goods, where cities become rivers as rain pours down adapted. In the Munich, Bavaria, bustling metropolis residents handle indoor as tourists way previously outside the breeze litter in the streets. Transportation networks grease on the half of the storm fury disrupted air, rail, and road travel. Airports scrambling the diverted flights and ground planes altogether, while railway operations struggled through mountain service amidst the fallen trees and debris on the tracks. Highway resembled obstacle caused the driver navigate treacherous conditions, with authority urged extreme cautions to advise against unnecessary travel. In the rural areas, farmers raced against time to secure livestock and safeguard crops on the onslaught and the wind and the rain. The agriculture hinterland of Germany faced dual threat to crop damage and potential flooding, and in the western nation already relentless from the impact of the storm. Emergency service working tirelessly to respond incidents, reducing standing motorist cooler and debris from the roads, and ensured the safety of the vulnerability communities. Shelters are opening by providing refuge and those displaced by the storm, offering the warmth and respite from the relentless onslaught of nature war. Amidst the chaos, resilience of German people shine through. Neighbors band together to help one another weather the storm. With the memories of the past calamities fresh in their minds, communities until the solidarity, demonstrating the strength and spirit that defines Germany resolve in the face of adversity. As Gustav Fury begins to wear in the skies gradually clear, the economic impact of the natural disaster through the year to the fully Queenfield is expected to be significant. As the storm passes, the relentlessness of the Sicilian people shone through. Communities band together, aid the cleanup efforts to provide support to those hardest hit. Social media was abuzz with the emergencies, with the messages of solidarity and offer to assistance, showcasing the indomitable spirit of the island's inhabitants. Meteorologists have attributed the severity of the storm in combination of climate factors, emphasizing the increasing unpredictability the weather patterns. This event severe stark reminder of the challenges faced by climate change, underlining the urgent need for sustainable environment policies. The Italian government response to the crisis pledged full support to the recovery force. Prime Minister, in a statement, assured the allocation for reps and resources to aid affected areas. Moreover, he emphasized the importance to bolstering Italy's infrastructure with extended to such extreme weather events in the future. As Italy embarks on its journey to recovery, the already has sparked a national conversation on disaster preparedness and climate resilience. The storm while untested island fortitude had also been a catalyst for unity and reflection of the importance to collective action to the face of environmental challenges. The German government has urged citizens to need the advice of authorities and stay informed throughout the official channels. Germany emerged better than and both ready to rebuild. Europe finds itself in the grip of tempestuous battle with the nature of what the powerful storm swept across the continent, leaving a trail of chaos and disruption in the way. From the wide-swept coast in the Ireland of the snow-blanket streets of Scandinavia, millions are grappling with the ferocious of elements. In Ireland, where coastal communities are accustomed by the burst of Atlantic gales, the storm surge has battered shorelines and swept waves crashing against the seawalls. Authorities have issued warning urged residents to remain indoors in case the wind's route speed exceeded 100 km per hour. Through a turn to uproot the tourism damaged infrastructure. Meanwhile, in the United Kingdom, transport network have ground the health of the storm and lashed the fury. Flights have been cancelled, trains delayed, and roads rendered treacherous by fallen debris. Emergency services are working tirelessly to clear roads and restore service, but the sheer force of the storm presented formidable challenges. Across the English Channel, mainland Europe it not spread from the tempest rage. In France, torrential rain has triggered flooding in low-lying areas, pressing residents to evacuate their homes. The iconic Eiffel Tower stands stoically amidst the tumult, a symbol of resilience of the face of adversity. In the German where the winter chill still liner heavy snowfall exact but the chaos disrupting both the urban and rural life. Schools are closed, businesses shut, and public transportation paralyzed. The country grappled with the dual onslaught of the storm wind. For the east in Scandinavia, the stormy ice grip, twin layer of blizzard continuation swept across the landslide. Norway, Sweden, and Finland are blacking in the snow with the visibility reduced in northern some areas, despite their reputation of resilience in the harsh winter. Germany is in high alert as a powerful storm system swept across the nation, bringing with the violence wind, torrential rain, and through it widespread disruption. The German Meteorological Service has issued severe weather warning for the vast stretch of the countries, urged residents to take precautions and remain vigilant. The storm dubbed Gustav by meteorologists is expected to make landfall in the northern Germany before rapidly moving eastward and engulfing major cities such as Hamburg, Berlin, and Munich in the path. With a gust of 100 km per hour are forecast posing significant risk to property and public safety. Authorities have cautioned against unnecessary travel and advised residents to secure loose objects outdoors, such as furniture and signage, to prevent them from becoming hazardous, projecting its strong winds. Additionally, residents in low-lying areas are being urged prepared to possible flooding in a heavy rainfall could lead to overflowing rivers and localized inundation. with the darkness sky and ominous cloud gathering above the iconic landmarks, including the Iliad Tower and the Notre Dame Cathedral. The bustling streets in the parish are found the crowd with the occupation with a sting of urgency. Local authorities have urged citizens to execute cautions to stay indoors and the storm intensify escalates. Weather forecasts predict that the templates of bring heavy rain accompanied by the foreign gust of wind, posing a significant threat to the city infrastructure and public safety. The potential for flash floods and power outage has risen concerns about the amount of officials who have implemented precautionary measures to minimize the impact. Continue to coverage the storm intensity wind attention weekend for UK. Updates to involved situation. The Bavarian state government has declared a state of emergency in the affected areas, and the emergency services have been working to clear roads and assess the damage. Many roads have been blocked by debris, making it difficult for emergency service to reach those in need. In Bavaria, Germany, a violent hailstorm has caused extensive damage to homes, cars, and crops. The storm struck on Tuesday afternoon and lasted several hours, unleashing large hailstones that pelted the region. Basements were flooded, trees were downed on public roads, and police reported several traffic incidents involving hydroplaning. Firefighters reported that rainwater was following from fields and meant down in the streets, houses, and basements. Germany authorities have issued new weather warning after deadly storm hit Central and Southern Europe. Germany found itself on the front lines in a fire battle against the relentless force of nature's storm Gustav, unleashing the fury across the nation. From the northern shores to southern plains on the continent, the country is spared from the wrath and the powerful tempest. The coastal areas such as Hamburg and Bremen and Halle wind will up towering when they crashed against the sea walls, torturing to boost defense and inundated low-lying areas. Residents huddle indoors, breaking themselves on the author, while the emergency responses stand ready to spirit in the action and their moments notice. As Gustav buries inland, urban centers like Berlin and Frankfurt become battleground against the element. In the rural communities, farmers and villagers mobilized to protect their livelihood in the name of Gustav onslaught. Fields are flooded and groups are battered by the relentless rain, posing the threat to food security and economic stability. Yet, amidst the chaos, the resilience of the German people shine through. Neighbors come together to lend helping hand in the face of adversity. Transportation network, greeting help and train are delayed, flights are cancelled, and highways become impossible. Travelers are stranded, unable to reach their destination as Gustav wreaked havoc on the infrastructure across the country. Yet despite the disruption, emergency service workers with the few vital Wi-Fi until they ensure the safety of the birth need. A severe hailstorm hit the region of Veneto, Italy, caused extensive damage and caught residents by surprise. The hailstorm, as big as a golf ball, pounded the area relentlessly over the hour, resulting in shattered windows, ruined crops, and dented vehicles. In the aftermath of the tempest, the authorities are evacuating the extent of the devastation, offering assistance in the affected communities. Emergency service promptly responded to the crisis, but the damage was so widespread that local authorities struggled to keep up. Residents faced difficulty in reaching safety. For farmers, suffered significant losers, with the vineyard and orange devastation by the storm. Despite the challenges of the people of Veneto demonstrated their resilience of coming together to support one another. In a shocking turn of events, the picturesque town of Trocchesimo in the province of Udine, Italy, was recently bassinet in the relentless onslaught of natural fury. A torrential flood accompanied by a fierce hailstorm wreaking havoc on tranquil streets, leaving a trail of destruction in its wake. Residents of Trocchesimo found themselves grappling with the double whammy as floodwater surged through the cobbled alleys, inundated homes and businesses alike. The relentless rain, driven by force winds, transforming in town once peaceful ambience in one of chaos and despair. As emergency sirens roaring through the water-loaded streets, local authorities will mobilize to rescue operations ensure the safety of residents stranded by deluge. The community related together, offering assistance to those affected by extended a helping hand of the vulnerable. Images captured the surreal scene of hailstorm, some at sight of a golf ball thumping the town rooftops and the vehicles, leaving a trail of destruction were the silence of a scene from disaster movie. The aftermath related shattered windows, dented vehicles, and battered vegetation, testifying of forest and a hailstorm. A powerful storm swept across Bavaria, Germany, caused widespread destruction and chaos. The Italian Civil Protection Department has been monitoring this situation closely and urged residents to remain vigilant. Sicily is no stranger to extreme weather conditions, but its storms have been particularly severe. Sicily, Italy, was hit by a foreign storm that caused widespread damage and destruction to the island. The storm, which lasted for several hours, brought heavy rain and strong winds, uprooted trees and damaged buildings. Many roads and highways were closed due to flooding and landslides, causing significant traffic disruption. Several flights to and from the island were also cancelled or delayed, leaving many travelers stranded. Local authorities issued issued several warnings urged residents to stay indoors and avoid travel unless absolutely necessary. Several school and public offices were closed due to the storm. The storm also caused power outage in some areas, leaving thousands of homes without electricity. Emergency services were working around the clock to restore power and clear debris to affected areas. Strong winds caused wildfires in Spain, and falling water level revealed dangers to issuing the new. Germany's weather service warned of heavy rain in the south of the country. After severe storm killed at least 20 people elsewhere in Europe. Local authorities have reported widespread damage, particularly in the areas of Upper Bavaria and Lower Bavaria. Many homes have and their roofs and windows smashed, leaving residents at deal with the aftermath. Some farmers have also reported severe damage in their crops, which could have a significant impact of local economy. The hailstones has caused significant disruption to the region, and many residents are still struggling to come in terms with the damage caused. The true cost and disaster is yet to fully assess. They clearly in their affected stores will be felt in some times to come. In the early hour of January, Sicily, Italy autonomous region found itself in the market of a formidable storm, with a wind reaching speed of over 100 km per hour, and the relentless heavy rain and storm left a trail of destruction in its wake. Residents of Sicily waked to a scene of chaos, uprooted trees, flooded streets, and damaged infrastructure. The storm intensity was such that it impeded daily life, closed schools, disrupted transport, and leaving thousands without power. The emergency service working tirelessly to restore order, prioritizing the safety to those affected areas. The island's capital, Palermo, bore the birth of the storm. Historic buildings, suffered to their architectural beauty, severely damaged, while the city narrow cobbled streets turned into fast-flowing rivers. Inland town and coastal village alike faced similar devastation, with the local authority declared a state of emergency in several regions. Agriculture, a cornerstone of Sicily's economy, was not spared. Farmers severed their land and heavy carriers of the storm-ravaged groups and appended years on the hard work and recover from the havoc brought by nature in discriminative fury. Yet the scars of the storm severely struck reminding of the fragility of human experience in the face of Mother Nature, a wisdom power. Germany stands firm against the relentless onslaught storm Gustav, and the nation grappled with the most ferocious weather events in the recent memory. From the best cities to serene countryside, Gustav walked north to Bonn, testing the resilience and preparedness of the German people. In the Hamburg, the iconic port city, residents braced themselves to towering wave crash against the sea walls through to beach defense. The city educated network of flood barriers and put into test, while emergency responses worked tirelessly to ensure the safety of coastal communities. As the storm's epicenter shifted eastward, Berlin in the nation capital found itself engulfed in the metropolis of wind and rain. Streets once bustling activity now lie deserted, and residents need warning to seek shelters indoors. Iconic landmarks from the Brandenburg Gate to the Reichstag bear witness nature's awesome power. They gender juxtaposed against the raw force of the elements. In the Bavaria, Germany, pictures where southwestern region rural communities face their own battle against the Gustav onslaught. Farmers toiled tirelessly to serve livestock and safeguard crops, while vigilant rallied together to support one another in the face of adversity. Across the countryside and landscape transformed into patchwork of resilience, while solidarity and determination severely battled against the storm. Transportation networks bursted at station under the strain of Gustav fury, with the railway and the highway all experienced disruption. Flights are grounded, trains are delayed, and the roads become treacherous and fallen trees and bruised little landscape. Yet amidst the chaos, emergency service worked tirelessly to keep vital lifeline open that ensure the safety of those in need. As nightfall and the Gustav fully bear anyway, Germany emergency battled the engulfed communities come together to assess the damage, clear debris, and begin the long process to rebuilding. From the bustling cities to north of tranquil villages on the south and spirit resilience burst the bright, reminded the worst of Germany's underwater resolve in the face of nature's foreign challenges. Resilience a mandate among men. Massive floods have wreaked havoc in historic district of Jordan in Paris, France, following heavy rainfall on past few days. In a picturesque neighborhood known as German canals and Quarrying Bridge have been transformed into waterlogged maze. The river Seine burst its banks, submerged streets, shops, and homes as a torrential smooth water surged through the sea. Local residents were caught off guard by a sudden deluge, with the many forced and evacuate their property, and flood waters rapidly rose. Emergency service and volunteers have been working tirelessly to rescue stranded individuals to provide shelters to those affected. The authorities have issued a red red alert urging residents to remain vigilant and prioritize their safety. The flood had caused significant disruption in the daily life in Jordan. Public transportation service have been severely affected, with several bus routes suspended and metro stations closed due to water damage. Businesses in area, including restaurants and boat crews, have been forced to close their jobs, temporarily adding to the economic strain caused by ongoing pandemic. The city government has mobilized the rescue to manage this crisis. This disaster has put a spotlight on the need for cities to adapt and build resilience against such climate-related challenges. The weather station of Eilat Tower recorded a widespread of up to 110 km/h. Meteorological Service reported that the level of the Seine rose by 35 cm due to heavy rain. Meteo France has warned of increasing winds and heavy rainfall in the southwest, as well as a signal of the massive central sphere and crossed the country from the southwest to the northeast. Torrential rain have left Paris following the recent heat wave in France that flooded metro station in the French capital. Transportation network have been alerted, with several flight cancellation and delayed reported to Charles and Curl Airport. Republic Transportation Service have also been particularly affected, as the bus and train schedules have been modified and ensure passenger safety amidst the tumultuous weather conditions. Another residents of French capital filmed motorists driving through the deep water, ironically saying the Paris is beautiful because you can ever go water skiing here. Paris, France, in a stunning touring event, the city of London finds itself under the grip of imminent storms set to unleash a fury upon of the capital. The meteorological department has issued a severe weather alert, cautioning residents to visitors alike prepare to tumultuous conditions.